So today what I'm going to tell you is the first application. The first application of partial differential equations, which comes as wave equation. We are going to learn two different types of equations, which is wave equation, what we are going to learn now. And the second one is heat equation in one dimension. So that is what we are going to learn in application part of partial differential equations. So today we are going to start with wave equation, which comes as vibrations on a string. I think I have shared some material part to you. Have you seen? Have you verified all the theory part what I have given over there? So now I'll explain to you what actually we have in that and what is a problem related to that, how we solve it. That is what we are going to learn now. So what actually we are doing in this, we are considering a tightly stretched elastic string. Suppose, take for example, take it as a rubber band, some rubber band. If you stretch it and if you stretch and fix it on both ends. I will just come to the center of the board. Right. So if you take a rubber band, stretch it, fix it at both ends. Then if you vibrate, like suppose if you vibrate like this, rubber band will be vibrating. So what actually we are doing here, we are considering a tightly stretched elastic string, which is of length. Suppose if you are taking this, we are taking that length as L. It is fixed at both ends. Let the ends be some AB. And then what we are doing, we are plucking the string. What is the meaning of plucking it? It will vibrate. So the string will be like this. Suppose if we consider both the end points as A comma B, and if you assume that this as an axis, x-axis and y-axis, on x-axis we are taking the length of the string. And it is vibrating. How it is vibrating? It is vibrating one time with positive y-axis, one time with negative y-axis. So we are assuming that the displacement, whatever we have here, this displacement is taken with y-axis. So if your string is taken, fixed at both ends, A, B, and it is plugged, it will be vibrating like this. So the length of the string is taken on x-axis and the vibration, suppose if on vibrating, if it is taking some displacement, that displacement is taken on y-axis. That is a physical construction we are taking in vibration of a string. How we are actually assuming the tension in the string is very, very high, means the string is stretched to the maximum extent, maximum lagesam anukondi. Then the tension is considered to be very, very large compared to the gravitational force, compared to the weight of the string. So that gravitational forces will be very, very less. Next, the string is, initially it is at rest and then it is made to vibrate. That is a physical construction of the string here. Taking this stand as an origin, the length of the string on x-axis, vibration or the displacement taken as an y-axis, so that the movement of the string, whatever we have, will be completely in xy plane only. Just imagine, take a rubber band, stretch it to the maximum, fix it to both ends, then you pluck it. How actually it will be? It will be vibrating. Now what we are learning here is what is actually the displacement of the string at a particular point. That is what we are going to learn in this concept here. So for that, suppose if y represents the length of the string, suppose if y represents completely and m is the mass of the string, t represents the time period, then dou square y by dou t square is equal to c square dou square y by dou x square. This represents the wave equation. I think you already have learned this wave equation in your physics part. Now what we are going to learn is what is actually the physical mathematical part of this wave equation. What actually these represent? Y represents the displacement of the string, how much it is having displacement on y-axis. It is actually a function of length of the string and the time period. So x represents the length of the string. T represents the time, initially or after some time, after 20 minutes, after 30 minutes, T represents. C square is some constant value. That C square value is taken as capital T by M. T represents the tension, M represents the mass of the spring. Now what we are going to learn in this concept is First, we'll find out the solution for this equation. Today, we are going to learn how to find out the solution for this partial differential equation using method of separation of variables, what we have learned yesterday. After that, we choose corresponding to the solution, what physical nature of the problem, what actually the comfortable solution we have for this. From that, we solve the problems. So for that, before starting that, I'll tell you first how to solve this equation. Already I have given you the theory part for this. Just you can take it down in your notes or just you take a printout and we can do the problems related to this now. Next, I'll tell you what actually we have in the problematic part. First, what we do, we take this equation and we try to solve the equation form, solution of the wave equation. So what is the construction we have taken? We have taken an elastic string. It is tightly stretched, fixed at both ends. So we have taken a string like this. Let the one point be origin A and other one be B, and it is made to vibrate. Let the length of the string be L, which is on x-axis. And this displacement is taken as on y-axis. That is the displacement we have taken for the string. What is actually the physical nature for this? At the endpoints, you can observe that these endpoints are fixed, completely fixed. Meaning is that the string is not having any displacement at these 2 points. Now the string is fixed. It is not moving. Only the remaining part of the string, whatever we have from this point, it is having different heights. So it is displaced. This point, this string at this point is having one displacement. At this point it is having another displacement. At this point it is having another displacement. Whereas at these two endpoints A and B, where the string is fixed, it is not having any displacement over it. So if suppose y represents the displacement of the string, x represents the length of the string, t represents the time period, the wave equation is written as dou square y by dou t square is equal to c square dou square y by dou x square. I will solve the solution part clearly on 2 parts of the board. Better you take down this in your notes because this is one of the most important and 100% guarantee essay question we may come across in this unit 5. Wave equation matters in question paper. So better you take this one. So what is the equation we have taken? Dou square y by dou t square is equal to c square dou square y by dou x square. And what is the c square value we have taken? C square is equal to p by m, where t represents the tension of the string, m represents the mass of the string. So here you can observe that now we go with the method of solution. Yesterday we have seen different methods of finding the solution for the partial differential equations. We have dou square y by dou t square, dou square y by dou x square. What is the meaning of that? X and t are independent variables. Y is a function of xt. So let the solution be y is equal to function of x into function of t. See how I have written the solution part. Yesterday we have written u as a function of xy, z as a function of xy. Do you remember? X of x into y of y. Here we are having y as function of x and t. So that's why we are writing y is equal to function of x into function of t. Clear? Now we have dou square y by dou x square in the equation. So what is the value of dou square y by dou x square? This will become x double dash into t. Similarly, dou square y by dou t square, this will become x into t double dash. We are taking partial derivative of y with respect to x 2 times, keeping t as constant. Here, the partial derivative of y with respect to t 2 times, with keeping x as constant. I hope you understood this part, how we got the value. So these values we will substitute in the equation. So dou square y by dou t square means x t double dash is equal to c square x double dash t. Now we go with variable separable form. So this will become now t double dash by t is equal to x double dash by x. We have c square. I will bring this c square to the t function is equal to capital K. So what are the equations we have over here? X double dash is equal to kx or x double dash minus kx is equal to 0. Similarly, t double dash by t is equal to c square k or t double dash minus c square kt is equal to 0. So we got two values. So what is the solution we have taken over here? Y is equal to x into t. So the solution of x we have written as x double dash minus kx is equal to 0 and t double dash minus c square kt is equal to 0. These two are the equations we have over here. And now we don't know actually what is the value of k. That k value may be a positive value, maybe a negative value, or maybe 0. Now what we do is we go with all the three cases. What will be the case or what will be the equation if k is positive? What will be the solution if k is negative? What will be the solution if k is equal to 0? That is what we are going to learn here now. So what we do? First case we go with let k be positive. So if it is a positive value, we take it as some k is equal to p square. Can we write like this? Why? Because whatever may be the value of p square will be always positive. P negative is going to p positive is going whatever we take, p square will be always a positive value. So k is positive. Let k be positive means I substitute k as p square. How the equation will be now? X double dash minus p square x is equal to 0. So that means what is the auxiliary equation we have? M square minus p square equal to 0 because this is nothing but dou square x by dou x square. So m is equal to plus or minus p. Real and distinct roots. How we write the solution? C1 e to the power of px plus C2 e power minus px. Similarly, how the equation of t reduces to t double dash minus c square t is equal to 0. Auxiliary equation is m square minus p square c square equal to 0. M is equal to plus or minus pc. So t is equal to c1 e to the power of pct plus c2 e to the power of minus pc. We got x value, we got y t value. How the equation of y will be? Actually, we have x y is equal to xt, which is c1 e power px plus c2 e power minus px into c3 e to the power of pct plus c4 e power minus pct. I hope you understood for the first case for taking k as positive value. Okay. So that the complete value, the complete solution will be now x y is equal to xt, which is c1 cos px plus c2 sin px into c3 cos pct plus c4 sin pct. So let this solution be 1, this solution be 2. So what is the second solution, second condition we have taken for k? Let k be a negative number. Suppose if k is negative, we know k can be written as minus p square because whatever may be the value of p square is always positive, minus p square will be always a negative number. So if we substitute minus p square in the equation, this equation reduces to x double dash plus p square x is equal to 0. This equation reduces to t double dash plus p square c square t is equal to 0. In this, the auxiliary equation is m square plus p square equal to 0 or m is equal to plus or minus pi. Complex conjugate pair we got over here. Similarly, here we have m square plus p square c square equal to 0. M is equal to plus or minus pci. Here also we have a complex conjugate pair. So correspondingly, how we write the value of x here? C1 cos px plus C2 sin px. Capital T, function of T as C3 cos Pt plus C4 sin Pt. Total overall, the value of y will be like this. Now, what will be the third condition? We have k positive, we have k negative. And the third condition is k may be 0. So, if k is equal to 0, how the equation reduces to now? The equation becomes x double dash equal to 0 and t double dash is equal to 0. X double dash equal to 0, if you integrate once, we get x dash is equal to c1. If you integrate one more time, x is equal to c1x plus c2. Similarly, capital T is equal to c3t plus c4. So, the complete y is equal to now c1x plus c2 into c3x plus c3t plus c4. Let this be the third equation. So, I'll write down all the three equations together here. So the first equation we have for K positive. We have y is equal to C1 e to the power of px, C2 e to the power of minus px into C3 e to the power of pct plus C4 e to the power of minus pct. This is the first equation we have. So what is the second case we have? Kb negative. If k is negative, what is the solution we are having? C1 cos px plus C2 sin px into C3 cos pct plus C4 sin pct. Let this be the second solution. What is the third condition we have? K is equal to 0. Then the solution we got it as C1x plus C2 into C3x t plus C4. Let this be the third solution. So we got three different solutions for a wave equation for three conditions for K positive, K negative and K 0. Out of these three solutions, only one solution is suitable for the wave equation form. So out of these three, we have to choose which solution is suitable for that equation. So what is a suitable solution? Since we are dealing with wave equation, the equation is in this form. The equation is a periodic function. So automatically out of these three, this is the only suitable solution we have where the solution consists of a periodic functions. So the solution of a wave equation is this solution. Out of these three, this is the only suitable solution we have for the wave equation. So this is a solution of a wave equation here. So from this, okay. What is the condition given? This is representing vibration of a string of length L. So as usual, we are taking the string like this. Let this point be A and this point be B, length be L over here and it is vibrating. Now, see here that you are given a word fixed at both ends. What is the meaning of physical meaning of fixed at both ends? There is no displacement for the string at this point. That is the meaning. See here that we are writing here y as a function of x and t. Now that this is what we are writing in this equation. Y as a function of x and t. I will just tell you what is actually the terms we are using here. Y representing the displacement of the string, this length. X representing the length of the string, this is the length. T representing the time. So here we are given that the string is fixed at both ends for every wave equation. Unless the string is fixed at both ends, it cannot be vibrated. So compulsorily for each and every wave equation, you will be given this condition, fixed at both ends. From that word, what we can reduce, what we can deduce that from this fixed at both ends, we can conclude that at the point A and at the point B, these are the fixed end we have. At these 2 points, displacement of the string is equal to 0. That is the meaning of that. So fixed at both ends. What is the displacement? Here, at this point, what is the value of x we have? X is equal to 0. At B, what is the value of x we have? The length is given as L. X is equal to L over here. Means, at x is equal to 0 and at x is equal to L, displacement is 0. What is the representation of displacement here? Y. Y is equal to 0. So, from this single word, fixed at both ends, you have to conclude these two. I hope you understood. Fixed at both ends. I'll repeat once again. Fixed at both ends means the string is fixed at these 2 points. Fixed at these 2 points means it is not having any displacement at these 2 points. Meaning is that the string is not having any displacement at x equal to 0, which is the point A. Similarly, the string is not having any displacement at the other end, x is equal to L, which is the point B. So, at x is equal to 0, as well as at x is equal to L, displacement is equal to 0, meaning is that y is equal to 0. That is the condition we have for these two. Observe these two. What is the meaning of y at 0 t is equal to 0? At x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. At x is equal to L, y is equal to 0. That is the meaning of these two. I have understood now what actually the meaning of these two conditions are. At both the ends, the same word fixed at both ends is represented by these two conditions. So sometimes in the exam, you may be given this condition or you may not be given this condition. Once if you are given that fixed at both ends, by default, you have to take these two. Prati wave equation, for every wave equation, fixed at both ends, whenever you come across that word, you have to take these two. What are these two? At both the ends, displacement of the string is equal to 0. The string is not vibrating at that point. It is at rest. That's why at x equal to 0, y equal to 0. At x equal to L, y equal to 0. That is what I have written over here. These two are two conditions on x. See that x0, xl. Two conditions we have written on x. What are the two conditions we have? The other two conditions should be on t. T means initially. Initially at t is equal to 0. That is the condition we have. Y at x equal to 0, dou y by dou t at x equal to 0. Now I will explain to you the physical meaning of these two. Y at x equal to 0 means at t is equal to 0, initially the string is having some displacement. We are taking the string like this. We are taking the string like this. To vibrate it, what we are actually doing? We are plucking it. Suppose if you are fixing the string like this, to vibrate it, what we are doing? We are taking it and we are plucking it. Means initially we are giving some displacement for the string, or we are plucking like this. Means initially we are giving some displacement to the string, then only it is vibrating. That is the meaning of y at x comma 0 equal to f of x. At t is equal to 0, initially the string is having some displacement. How it is having some displacement? To vibrate the string like this, we are plucking it. Unless we pluck the string, it can't vibrate. So initially we are plucking it. So means initially we are having some displacement. But what is the meaning of dou y by dou t? If y represents the displacement, dou y by dou t represents the velocity. Initially means if the string is taken like this, taken like this. Initially, we are just taking to a height and leaving it. We are not at this point at t equal to 0. It is not moving. It is not vibrating at this point t equal to 0. Unless we release it, it won't vibrate. So initially, it is having some displacement, but it is not moving. That is why displacement velocity is equal to 0. I hope you understood the physical meaning of these two. Initially, it is having f of x as some value displacement. How can you define this? Since we have to vibrate the string, we are plucking it. Just like pluck chestunam. Means it is having some displacement. Meaning is it is having some displacement. But at that moment, we are not leaving it. Particular moment at t is equal to 0, the string is in this shape. Actually, it should be straight line, triangle. So it means it is not moving, velocity is 0. But once if you release it, then it will vibrate. Then it is having some initially displacement, but initially velocity is 0. Did you understand these physical conditions now? I'm just waiting for your response. If you understood the conditions, then I'll start the problem. How to solve or how to substitute the conditions over here. Can anyone respond now?
Yes, ma'am.
Shall I continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what I do, I will erase this completely. I will solve it now. First, before that, what I do is, first I'll write down all the conditions here. What are the conditions we have? Y at 0 t is equal to 0. Y at L comma t is equal to 0. Y at x comma 0 equal to f of x. Dou y by dou t at x comma 0 is equal to 0. So these are the four conditions we have. Do you remember I told you? So what is the suitable solution we have here? Y is equal to C1 cos px plus C2 sin px into C3 cos PCT plus C4 sin PCT. This is a suitable solution. We have seen out of these three, this is the only suitable solution we have over here. What did you observe in this solution? We have altogether 4 constants: C1, C2, C3, C4. In that, you can observe here that 2 constants are connected with X. 2 constants are connected with T. So we need 2 conditions on X, 2 conditions on T. Always, by default, for a wave equation, these 2 conditions are common. I told you already. Unless it is fixed at both ends, it cannot be vibrated. So at X is equal to 0, as well as at X is equal to L, Y is equal to 0. These 2 are conditions on X. What is the condition we have for T? At T is equal to 0, initial displacement. At T is equal to 0, initial velocity. These 2 are conditions for T. Out of these, you can observe that we will get 3 zero conditions and 1 non-zero condition. First, you have to complete all the 3 zero conditions first. Last, no non-zero condition best. That is the order we follow. So, we'll start with the first condition. What is the first condition we have? Y at 0 t is equal to 0. What is the meaning of y at 0 t is equal to 0? Implies at x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. That is the meaning here. So I'll substitute these conditions in the problem, in the solution. Y equal to 0 is equal to C1 cos 0 plus C2 sin 0. These are the conditions we are writing on X. So we are not substituting any condition on T. T will be as it is. C3 cos PCT plus C4 sin PCT. We know the value of sin 0 is 0, cos 0 is 1. 0 equal to C1 into C3 cos PCT plus C4 sin PCT. If you have a product of these two, which is equal to 0, what will be automatically the constant value? This cannot be 0. Automatically C1 is equal to 0. So we got the value of C1 is equal to 0. First constant is 0. If C1 equal to 0, if we substitute in this, how the value of y will be reduced to now? Y is equal to C1 is 0, C2 sin px into C3 cos PCT plus C4 sin PCT. So, first condition is over. What is the second condition we have? Y at L comma T equal to 0 means y at L comma T equal to 0 is the second condition. Implies at L is x is equal to L, y equal to 0. That is the meaning of this. Now we'll substitute in this condition. What is the value we have over here? I will erase this part. Have you finished this part continuously? I think so. It's better you parallelly, simultaneously take down these values, so it will be easy for me to erase the problem. I need 3 or 4 boards to complete the complete problem. These are little lengthy problems. So I'll just give 1 or 2 minutes to complete that part. Complete chestha, appudu then continue chestha. Have y at L comma T equal to 0. Meaning is that at x is equal to L, y is equal to 0. So if you substitute this condition in the equation, we'll see what actually we get over here. So y is equal to C2 sin PL, x is equal to L we have substituted, y is equal to 0, 0 equal to sin PL. We are not substituting any condition on T, so it is as it is. C3 cos PCT plus C4 sin PCT. Now see carefully here. We have combination of 3 terms as 0, A, B, C as zeros. This can't be 0. If this is 0, completely y becomes 0, there is no meaning in that. If you take C2 also as 0 in this solution, if you substitute C2 also as 0, again completely y will become 0. Again there is no meaning in that. So this can't be 0, this term also can't be 0. What is the only remaining term we have over here? So this is the only term we have which becomes 0 over here. So implies sin PL is equal to 0. When will the value of sine function become 0? Sine theta is equal to 0 if theta is equal to multiples of pi. Sine pi, sine 2 pi, sine 3 pi, sine 4 pi, so on becomes 0. Means PL is equal to n pi or P is equal to n pi by n. Now this P we substitute in y. Therefore, y is equal to C2 sine P n pi by L x C3 cos n pi C by LT plus C4 sine n pi C by LT. Did you understand why I have taken this sine PL as 0? Because this term completely can't be 0. If this is 0, completely y what we have taken as 0 will become 0. So there is no meaning in that. Similarly, C2 also can't be 0. Already C1 is 0. If C2 also becomes 0, completely y becomes 0. Again, there is no meaning in that. So these two can't be 0. Compulsorily, sine PL only should be 0 in this condition. When will the value of sine theta become 0? If theta is a multiple of n pi, multiple of pi, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, so on. So we are taking theta, which is nothing but PL, as n pi. So P is equal to n pi by L. This P value we have substituted in y. So y is equal to C2 sin n pi x by L into C3 cos n pi C3 by L and C4 sin n pi C3 by L. So this is the value of y. So I told you, so two conditions are common. Now you observe that for all the wave equations, whenever you are given a wave equation, vibrating string or string fixed with a fixed ends, compulsorily the problem is common till here. Because for all the problems, both the ends are fixed. So these two conditions are common for all the problems. So the problem till here, the solution till here is common. So these two conditions are common. Similarly, solution till here is common for all the problems in the exercise. Ikkada varaku meer complete ga chestunna vellipochu wave equation. From this, I will tell you how to continue. From this, so what is the value of y? I will write it here clearly. So y is equal to C2 sine n pi x by L C3 cos n pi Ct by L plus C4 sin n pi Ct by L. So this is the condition. So in this, we are having two more conditions. Two conditions on x already we have done. Now we have to substitute two more conditions on t. You can observe here that for two t conditions, one condition is a zero condition, the other condition is a non-zero condition. First we'll have to do whichever value is making zero. Zero condition only first you have to substitute. What is the zero condition we have? Dou y by dou t is equal to 0. So we have here y. So for this, first we calculate dou y by dou t. What is the value of dou y by dou t? What is actually the meaning of dou y by dou t? Partial derivative of y with respect to x, with respect to t, keeping x as constant. So C2, this term is a constant term, sin n pi x by L into. Now we will take derivative for this function. C3 is constant, cos derivative is minus sin n pi Ct by L into t coefficient is n pi C by L plus C4. Sin derivative is cos n pi Ct by L. T coefficient is n pi C. So this is the derivative we have taken with respect to t for the given function. Now we substitute the condition. Dou y by dou t given. At x comma 0 equal to 0 implies at t is equal to 0, dou y by dou t is equal to 0. That is the condition. We substitute these conditions. Dou y by dou t equal to 0 is equal to C2 sin n pi x by L into sin 0. Here we have sin 0. I will cancel this term because sin 0 is 0. Plus C4 n pi C by L cos 0 is 1. So in this combination, which value will become 0? C2 can't be 0. Sin n pi x by L can't be 0. N pi C by L is a constant value, can't be 0. Only the constant we have is C4. Implies C4 is equal to 0. That is a condition for the third one. So if you substitute the C4 equal to 0 here, now I'll write down what actually the value of y is. So complete it, I'll just give you one more minute. substitute this C4 here. C4 is 0, so this will be the remaining part we have. Okay. So if we substitute the C4 equal to 0 here, how the value of y reduces to now? Y is equal to C2 sin n pi x by L into C3 cos n pi Ct by L. C4 is 0. So y is equal to C2 and C3 constants sin n pi x by L cos n pi Ct by L. So this is the value we got after substituting the third condition, which is a 0 condition. Now we'll see what actually the fourth condition is. What is the fourth condition we have given? Y at x comma 0 equal to f of x. What is the meaning of that? At t is equal to 0, y is equal to f of x. This is the condition given. We'll substitute. Y is equal to f of x is equal to C2 C3 sin n pi x by L. X t is equal to 0, cos 0 is 1. Now n is equal to 1 will have one relation, n is equal to 2 will have another value, n is equal to 3 will have another value. This n is infinite. So I'll write this value as sigma C2 C3 sin n pi, sum of all the values of n. This C2 C3 now I'll write it as some constant Bn. Some constant Bn. Is this representing any value which you have learned before? Remember that this represents a half range sine series. ఒక్కసారి మీరు Fourier series కి వెళ్ళి half range sine series చూడండి. How we write the value of Bn here implies Bn is equal to 2 by L integral 0 to L fx sin n by x by L dx. So what we have to do for the fourth condition, after converting into half range sine series, you have to find out the constant value Bn. C1 kattam, C2 kattam, C3 kattam, C4. From these four, we have seen C1 0 and C4 0. C2 C3 combination you have written in the form of Bn. How we have to find the value of Bn here? Bn according to half range sine series is 2 by L integral 0 to L fx sin n pi x by L dx. In this problem, it is given simply fx. So we leave the problem till here. If you are given any particular value for fx, like f of x is equal to x square, f of x is equal to sin x, f of x is equal to e power x, you have to evaluate the value of Bn according to this integral value. That is the complete solution of one-dimensional heat wave equation. So I will just